Today on Upfront, what does the new year hold for the state's economy? Next, our in-depth look at job growth, Wisconsin's business climate, and efforts to encourage entrepreneurship. Our business panel weighs in. What are we getting right and what could we be doing better?
Covering the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Upfront with Mike Goucher.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Upfront, our first program of 2016. The new year begins with hope and promise for the 12 months ahead. And as we've done in years past, we use this first Sunday in January to do a checkup on the health of the state's economy. What's the outlook for 2016? Is it a time to hire or create a new business? Do we have the workforce in the state we need? We've assembled a panel of business leaders to help us take stock of the economy. We're joined today by Aaron Olver, a former state commerce secretary in the Doyle administration, now managing director of University Research Park in Madison. Mary Ellen Stanek, managing director and chief investment officer for Robert W. Baird & Company in Milwaukee. And Austin Ramirez, president and CEO of Husco International, a global engineering and manufacturing company based in Waukesha. Thanks to all of you for being with us today.
Nice to be here.
Austin Ramirez, let me begin with you. And I know that we don't have economists per se sitting at the table, but you're all business people. You understand the business world. Give me a sense of 2016. Are you bullish?
Sure. You might have started with the wrong person because unfortunately, I'm a little bit bearish on next year.
Really? Why?
You know, we do about half our business overseas, and as I look back since the Great Recession in 2008, the thing that's really accelerated our growth has been the growth of the emerging markets. Brazil, Russia, India, China, they really boomed coming out of 2008 and 9 and into 10, 11, and 12. And each one of those markets has not only slowed down, but has really had a significant change in their growth prospects. And I think lacking that sort of impetus of growth in the emerging markets, it's going to be a tough year for all businesses. And I think it's easy to underestimate how interconnected our economies are. Even the business that we ship to our customers in North America, a fair amount of that winds up getting exported to Brazil and Argentina and around the world. And the slowdown in those markets is going to create some headwinds for us next year.
Mary Ellen Stanek, Federal Reserve said that we believe it's a sustainable economic recovery, that improvement is going to continue. What's your take on it?
Certainly, we would be in the camp of moderate growth, decent growth, but I think Austin points out the U.S., even though the growth is good, it's not great, and we can't live on an island. There are the global headwinds and global forces. So the Federal Reserve Board raised rates in late December and really came off the zero interest rate policy that they've had in place for, believe it or not, 7 years, and have begun starting to normalize interest rates. But our view is they will go slow because of all these moderate forces.
And Aaron, let me get your take on this.
Yeah, I may be the optimist.
Are you the optimist?
You know, since the recession in Wisconsin, we've seen almost every sector rebound. Construction's come back, manufacturing jobs are up, you know, perhaps 35,000 in Wisconsin. And in the sector I work in, we're seeing strong job growth. So the innovation and knowledge fields are particularly strong, you know, not only nationally, but also in Wisconsin. And so when I look around, particularly the cluster that surrounds the university and the research park, we're seeing almost all our tenants wanting to expand and looking for more space and introducing new products and clinical trials, and I'm relatively optimistic about 2016.
Is Madison, let me toss this out, is Madison a bit of the exception? Because it is a knowledge-based economy in many respects, is it an exception?
I think we're entering a second era of the city. Really, one of the things that you see happening is that knowledge and innovation across many different types of sectors and fields is really driving job growth, and it's collecting more and more in cities. So one of the challenges Wisconsin has is that our population is relatively spread out. It's not concentrated. So in Minnesota, for example, about 70% of their job growth in the last 5 years or so has been concentrated in the Twin Cities. Here in Milwaukee, only about 20% of Wisconsin's job growth. So that's a little bit of a challenge in the sense that we don't have that concentration. But I think you're going to see, you know, across Wisconsin where we have urban concentrations, you're going to see innovation and job growth prospering. And what we need to do in order to capitalize that is really figure out what our best assets are in those areas and then capitalize on them. And I think that's true across the state.
You're nodding in agreement with that.
Yeah, that is very much the case in Milwaukee. We can't be everything to everybody, and so let's inventory where we do have these collection of assets, as Aaron indicated. And so you look at Milwaukee, which is the largest urban area in the state of Wisconsin, and in my business career, which spans over 3 decades, I have never seen this much activity and growth and development going on in the downtown core, if you will, which leads us to believe there is going to be some residual effects, catalytic effects throughout the community.
Give me a sense in the manufacturing sector right now, Austin Ramirez. There's a lot of talk that this is absolutely key. It's important for the state of Wisconsin. Are we doing everything we can to be to maximize our potential in that particular sector?
You know, I don't think we can ever say we're doing everything we can to maximize the growth in any sector. But you know, manufacturing in Wisconsin is the largest private sector job creator and employer in the state, and we've got great businesses here that are competitive not only in Wisconsin and around the country but around the world. And I think having tax policy that makes sense at a state level, and also really focusing on our human capital in Wisconsin. We've got a great university system. We hire the vast majority of the engineers and professionals at Husco come from the Wisconsin university system, but we're really struggling at the K through 12 level. And in Milwaukee in particular, we've got some big education inequalities that we really need to address in order to let this manufacturing sector achieve its potential in Wisconsin.
This leads into a larger discussion. Maybe we can even get into it right here before we go to a break. And this is about the workforce of tomorrow and whether or not we had the talent in this state to meet the job demands that employers have. And I'd like each of you to maybe weigh in on this. And I'll come back to you, Aaron. Do we have a mismatch there in terms of skills or are we moving in the right direction to kind of correct that problem?
You know, when I was the Secretary of Commerce, companies would say to me all the time, our plant in Wisconsin is 3% more productive than our plant in Michigan, or we have lower levels of absenteeism in Wisconsin. People show up ready to work, they know how to read, they know how to do math, and I think that's a testament to the generally strong schools that Wisconsin enjoys. There's definitely some challenges and some achievement gaps, and I think Austin was alluding to those. And so protecting the historic investments we've made as a state in education is going to be really important going forward, both locally in our K through 12 system, but also in the University of Wisconsin system and the technical colleges.
You talk with a lot of people in this community and in the Milwaukee area. Talk to us about the workforce situation.
Sure.
Here.
On the workforce side, I would also acknowledge the K through 12 challenges. And the wonderful thing about Wisconsin is there is an energy around continuing to innovate in education, and certainly what the Ramirez family is doing on the near-south side of Milwaukee, many different models that are being proposed to continue to address the challenges, particularly for our urban children. That said, at the university and college level, we've got some great assets and great systems, great universities and colleges. And so the private sector has stepped in and been quite innovative in terms of trying to help pull through and help co-develop programs. So for example, on the investment management side, programs at Marquette, at UWM. UW's had a long-standing high-profile program, and continuing to both support them financially, but also with talent, and looking at those kind of innovative solutions to be able to capture and retain more of our talented young folks here in the state.
I'm going to take a break right now. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation, and we'll be talking more about the state's workforce needs. It is kind of an interesting conversation at a recent conference here in Wisconsin. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We'll also talk about moving the needle on entrepreneurship. We'll be back in just a moment.
Up Front with Mike Goucher, brought to you by the American Transmission Company and the Wisconsin Corn Growers Association.